our last segment, we heard from Patrick, who is a survivor, was an orphan in Rwanda, telling us about how he has turned his life around. As Peter says, he's rewritten his life story. He's become the hero of his life story, of his own story. And listening to the video prompts some questions. So I'm going to have some questions for Peter. My first one is, Patrick said something that grabbed me. He said that it was very hard for him as he came out of very difficult childhood atrocities.
Right.
That he struggled, he said, to adopt the real me.
To adopt the real you.
To adopt the real me. What do you think he meant by that?
Well, my guess, I know Patrick since it wasn't long after his mother abandoned him. I met him, I think he was about 6.5, through the orphanage with the kids that he was involved with. He was very self-confident, even then. Do I think he was discovered his real you? No, I don't think so. Not yet. And but I think what he was talking about is how he discovered who he really was, the strengths that he truly had. When I listen to Patrick today, one of the things that I hear is, and I could see it when he was a kid, the kids that surrounded him had worse atrocities, and I heard their stories. It was brutally evil, and they were more open with me than he was. But I saw him take care of them. He had a heart for them, and he was young. But what I'm hearing is what's come out of that. He's discovered he was a very contained kid. He was very talented, very ambitious. Charming is unbelievably an understatement. But what I'm hearing is out of the things that I saw in his character, even at that young age, I can't really say that I've seen in very many American kids. But what I saw in Patrick, it sounds to me like he's embraced what he was discovering, the strengths he was discovering, the resilience he came to through his struggles, his pain, his suffering, his agony, which I know he went through. What I'm seeing is he's now talking about the chapter, what he went through, and what he's come to now. Now he's a young man. What is Patrick? 21. I think that he's on the track that he wants. Number one, he's in social media. He's really good at it. He's a very talented guy, but also that he cares about other people and he wants to come alongside others who he understands their depression, their suffering, their pain, they're feeling worthless and not good enough to an extreme, and he knows how to come alongside them by using his own story, his own pain, his own suffering. To now have a deeper sense of empathy and caring than he would have had before. Now, I've seen Patrick come alongside kids from Burundi. Now, Burundi was in much worse shape than Rwanda, and we would take some of those kids in, too, on a couple of trips. And I saw him come alongside them and bring them along with such an empathy and an understanding of what it would take to teach them, to bring them out of themselves. And it was remarkable to watch.